get asked this question a lot, and I think it's a fair question because, like, at the time, there was only like a handful of us that had skipped NXT. Like, it was me and Maria, it was AJ, it was the Good Brothers. There wasn't a ton of us. And a lot of guys who are just as talented as me, if not more talented than me, were going to NXT. So, like, it's a fair question to ask. But, again, it's one of those things where it was entirely out of my hands. And hindsight's always 20/20. And, like, I loved working for Triple H. I think he understands wrestling. I think he has his finger on the pulse of what's popular in wrestling. I think he understands where it's going more than anyone else in WWE. So I think I would have personally have loved learning under him and been under his, like, have him teach me. And because all the guys that end up leaving there, like Cole and Gargano and Tommaso, who talk about it there, they say, like, the best part was learning from Triple H, learning from Shawn, having him guide the ship. So I think I would have loved that, and I think it would have been great. But again, it's one of those things where I try to find the silver lining in everything. And at the time, with all the talent that was coming through, with the Kevin Owens and the Sami Zayns and the AJs and the Tommasos and the Coles, there was only a handful of us that skipped NXT, and I was one of them. So, like, I wear that like a badge of honor. Like, I'm just like, okay, you trusted in me enough to let me skip NXT and go right to the main roster. So, like, again, it's a double-edged sword. Who knows? Maybe I would have had more success. Or, like a lot of guys, I could have been successful at NXT and then gone up to the main roster. And because the truth is, if Vince doesn't see anything in you, he doesn't see anything in you. So you can have a killer run in NXT, go up to the main roster, and, I mean, EC3 did well in NXT, came up to the main roster, and, like, if you can't find a spot for that guy, then I feel like you're hopeless. Because he's amazing. One of the most underrated guys in all of professional wrestling. And if you can't find a spot for him, I mean, there's really no hope for me either. So it's like, it's one of those things where, again, hindsight's 20/20. I could have done really well at NXT and then done really well on the main roster, or I could have done really well at NXT and stunk it up on the main roster. There's just no way of knowing.